Hello, Hitting the Field family, and welcome back. I'm your host, Dominic Moller. Today, we got a banger episode. We're bringing on a few of the boys to talk NFL the first week. Now, I'm in poverty right now, just like one of my guests, because both of our teams suck. And then we'll be going over to FIBA. We'll make it a little bit of an international talk. And then the third segment's going to have to be a surprise, so stick around, because Hitting the Field starts right now.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated champs, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back. Okay, always locked in, now I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the stats. Boy, is you ready? You ain't gotta ask.
Welcome back. As you can see, we kind of grew a little bit. We got two rivals. Me and Jack are in poverty right now. Both of our teams suck in our bottom of our division. And Ty is a happy man because guess what? His team upset the Vikings.
Jack is in shambles right now.
I'm perfectly okay. It's week 1. We all know how the Baker Mayfield story goes.
I think
he might perform for a game or two, and then he becomes the worst quarterback in the league. So
I think I've heard him say, like, you have to lose one game to go 16-1, probably 9 times, just today.
Part of it's for the bit, part of it's because it's true. So
okay, going right into it, we're actually going to talk the first game in the NFL season. Lions-Chiefs, a big upset. If you are Jack, you think it's an upset. But it's the Lions end up winning, and kind of a surprise. Dan Campbell pulls it out, and the run game looked great. Jahmyr Gibbs looked good, but the big story was how Patrick Mahomes didn't really have anybody around him, and that could be a big problem because Kelsey's getting up there in age. Injuries are existing. Now, guys, do you see this being an ongoing problem for the Chiefs, or is it just the first game plague? We'll start with Ty.
good call.
Right.
Good call.
Good call.
Good call.
Good call is crazy. So, as of right now, I would say it's a bit of a problem. A bit of a problem. As we can already tell, Kadarius Toney stinks.
Yeah.
He's horrible.
Oh, yeah.
They need to get him out of town, show up with pitchforks, get him out of there. But behind him is Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and then behind him is the former Buccaneers, like 5th receiver, Justin Watson.
Yeah.
Like, who do they have?
Rasheed Rice is good.
Rasheed Rice was actually
He's good. He's a good young talent.
was
Justin
pretty good.
Ross, too, I think I picked him up in all my fantasy teams. Hoping he, comes out of the fire.
You probably lost this week, didn't you?
No, I won.
Okay.
So
With Justin
I actually,
Ross.
I think I won in almost all my leagues. This one's up for grab. James Cook, if you're there, man, please, Buffalo Bills, secure me a dub here. But Jack, what do you think? I know you said the Chiefs were number 1, the best team in the NFL last week, 2 weeks ago. So you still riding with that, or are you just going to take
honest,
the
if
detour?
you ask me again today, the number 1 team in the NFL is still the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh my God.
They are. Listen, it's hard to win when you don't have 2 of your 3 best players. And the Lions were a top 5 scoring offense last year.
Who were the other 2?
What? Chris Jones and Travis Kelce didn't have them. So the Lions were a top 5 scoring offense last year. They did not have Chris Jones. He's in the sideline like eating popcorn with his agent up there. So,
The Sopranos. His agent were like
Literally.
the Sopranos, bro.
So when you don't have that guy and you don't have your main pass catcher, it's hard to win. And the Lions only scored 14 points on the Chiefs. Offensively. Only scored 14 points. The Chiefs did that without Chris Jones. This team might have like a sneaky top 10 defense this year. Yes, they legitimately might have it. And when you have Patrick Mahomes in the top 10 defense, it's hard for me to believe you're not going to win the Super Bowl.
Well, I hate to be the guy here because I want to talk this a little bit. The Chiefs offense, I'm sorry, I don't know what planet we're living in. Mahomes is great. Receivers are terrible.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce's the big guy on there, but like I said 2 weeks ago, I said he's getting up there in age. Injuries are going to be a big problem. Their running backs, Pachenko's pretty good, but they switch him out too much. They try to do too much with him. The Chiefs' offense is the offense of a paper cut, as I like to call it. Their defense isn't much better. They don't have any push really on the line without Chris Jones. Their secondary is atrocious. The Lions were able to light them up. Jared Goff, who probably has a prehistoric arm, He's
What?
lighting you up on offense. Like, Jahmyr Gibbs was great, and David Montgomery, thank you for winning fantasy. But
Dave Montgomery is not good, but
No,
yeah,
not
the
good.
touch. Yeah,
Not
come on,
good.
man.
again,
Come on, man.
I get the whole
That
weapons
means the
thing. I
Chiefs are
get the whole
horrible.
weapons thing, but you have Patrick Mahomes, you have Andy Reid. How do you not think? Even for one, they have the 4th most cap space in the league right now, so they can have the flexibility to make a trade. But even if they don't, Mahomes and Andy Reid will figure it out. Like, if you're worried about the Chiefs and you're talking about the offense, I think that's delusional because there's not going to be a world where Patrick Mahomes is not going to be a top offense in the league.
I said I'm not worried about that, man.
Mahomes is a top quarterback in the league,
Yes.
but the offense as a whole,
Who drives the
Gosh,
offense?
I'm glad I have Ty
the offense
today.
as a whole
I'm
is
glad
kind
I
of
got
stinky.
Ty.
No.
It's kind of stinky. I think it answered the age-old question yesterday of could Pat Mahomes by himself?
No, it did not answer
Yes,
that
it did.
question.
It
I
did.
am
A
so
top 10
disgusted
defense.
that's what we're talking about.
What do you mean?
No
the Lions.
way.
I don't even think it's up for debate that the
battling.
Lions are a top 10 defense this year. I don't think it's up for debate. I think they are.
It's up for debate. They were 32nd last year.
Okay.
Oh.
They only.
So you
allowed-
think they're gonna drop-
They only allowed
you-
Pat Mahomes to have 20 points.
Do you think they're going to jump 22 spots this year? Say that.
I-
they're going to jump 22 spots this year?
Yeah.
You're unbelievable.
Okay.
You are
That is
unbelievable.
that will be
Unbelievable.
time for another week. We have to talk about a team that I think is actually going to beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. The Bengals. They looked atrocious. Joe Burrow looked bad. Now,
Yep.
viewers, please don't take this with a grain of salt. The weather was absolutely terrible. In Cleveland, it was horrible. Now, the Browns were able to kind of muster up a win, but they also have a really good running game. And Deshaun Watson looked all right. I mean, but that throw that he made, that pick, I don't even know what that was.
Funniest throw of the weekend.
That was a bad
so
throw.
funny.
I remember watching that live. I saw him roll out. I was like, all right, go on, Deshaun. And then it was terrible. But, Ty, do you see the Bengals overcoming this, or do you think this is much of going to be the same?
I think I see them overcoming it, but no.
No, I said few.
Oh,
Okay.
I'll say,
I was about
don't do
to
this
say,
right
who
now.
am I sitting next to right now? I think they overcome it. I think it takes a little bit of time.
it does.
You can't. Okay, first off, you can't win if you never even target your number 2 receiver.
Yeah.
T. Higgins had 0 receptions, 0 yards.
He had 8 targets.
He did. He targeted, but he
He
means
had 8
catch. He
targets.
means catch. He means catch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think the unit as a whole was really sloppy, really rusty.
Yeah.
I think they need to get a little bit better, like in the groove. And Jamar Chase said it themselves. They walked in cocky. They were going to fight elves, and the elves beat them.
Well, Burrow was also injured. He's coming off that injury. It's kind of tough to get in. First, they always start off atrocious. I mean,
Well,
Jack.
that's what I was going to say. Joe Burrow has yet to beat the Browns in his career, so I'm not surprised they lost to the Browns. And again, the Bengals last year, who went toe-to-toe with the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, started 2-3 last year.
Yeah.
So I'm not too concerned with a slow start. I think it's just going to take time. They lost Jesse Bates on defense. Joe Burrow in the offense, they always start slow.
Yeah.
So I do think this is just time to come. Their schedule is not too difficult. Besides the division's pretty tough, but the Steelers looked bad, and the Ravens barely looked good. So
Yeah,
I'm
well-
not too worried about it.
We're going to talk
I
a little bit.
actually kind of like the Steelers, though.
I don't. I disagree
They played a really good
completely.
game last week.
This guy.
It was close.
They did play against the 49ers.
They played the
though.
49ers. They
close,
played the
don't
best
worry.
defense in the NFC.
It
We
was
have to
super
talk.
close.
We got to talk the preview for tonight. Bills versus Jets. Now, I put this on you'll see it on the screen soon. Does Aaron Rodgers dominate just like he did on the Packers? And speaking of the Packers, the Bears did lose, and they looked atrocious. And I hope I don't have to wear that tutu because I hope they make the playoffs.
Making the playoffs.
Does your Vikings
Go
are
on,
looking?
go
Your
on,
Vikings
go
are
on.
just
No,
where we're
no,
at.
just go
We're
on.
sitting together. We're hand in hand
Go on.
together. But
I'm
Bills
not.
against Jets. That's got to be. Yeah, you're dubbing up right now. I can't say much there. Baker Mayfield's him. Bills Jets. Now, this is going to be controversial here. This is a very tough game to call. I think this is going to be a very close game. I do think that the Bills pull it out, but I think the Jets look really good throughout the rest of the year. And I'm saying that because I hope James Cook balls out. But, Jack, I'm actually going to go to you because I want to hear your outrageous take here. What do you think of the game?
So I'm actually not big on the Jets at all this year. I don't think they're just some Super Bowl contender that a lot of people think they are. But I do like the Jets in this game because the Bills are without Leslie Frazier, their defensive coordinator the last couple of years, who've made the Bills a top 3 defense consistently. And it's another year without Brian Dable. Brian Dable I hate to say it, made Josh Allen. Just what it is. Josh Allen is just not near as good without Brian Dable. So, and the Jets are playing at home, first night with the Rodgers. It's going to be anticipated. There's going to be a lot of energy in the building. I'm a vibes guy,
Yeah,
a little bit
get
of
your vibes.
And the Jets have all the vibes to win this game, I think. Like I said, especially at home. So I got the Jets winning this.
Okay.
I think you can expect at the start of this game Aaron Rodgers to target Allen Lazard and Randall Cobb and the guys he's used to.
Yeah.
He has chemistry with. I think you'd expect him to target them early. I think the difference maker is, can he find in-game regular season chemistry with Garrett Wilson, with Tyler Conklin, with the guys that he hasn't played with yet. I think if he can find that chemistry with them, I think the Jets can pull out a win here.
Granted, it's preseason, but in the preseason, Aaron Rodgers loved Garrett Wilson. He threw it to him every single time, so I trust in it.
Well, we'll have to see tonight. It's a tale of two takes there. That is all we have for the first segment. We'll be back with FIBA. Thank you for joining us, Ty.
Of course.
I'm stuck with Jack again.
Lucky you.
We'll be right back.
Lucky you is crazy.
I'm Johnny Jackson. We've got Emily Aaron to my right and Maluka Costa to my left.
Hello and welcome to our segment of Hot Ones. I'm here with Noah Kemper and Grant
Wheeler.
Yep, I knew that. Grant Wheeler.
Listen, I'm a Bulls fan, but I just can't ever argue against LeBron. I watched him my whole life.
I've been going back and forth with this debate for a long time. It's got to be Michael Jordan.
Whatever she wanted. I would wake up in a maid costume for Doja Cat.
Brutal.
Jeffrey Laux, no question.
Richie, I would give it to Richie.
It is not Richie. It is not Richie.
No, it's Jeff.
Richie's pronouns are he, they, because he cannot be him.
What?
Oh, wait a second.
I'm gonna have to also agree and say Jeff. He always is spiffy.
It might be Cameron. Cameron's had some good fits.
Out of the women, Norelli always dresses really, really cute.
Oh, that went so awful.
It's basketball.
College football, I think, is the best sport to watch.
If you don't like soccer, it's because you suck at it.
I think college football is the best.
Thanks for watching.
Welcome back. We have a new guest, Jovanni. I think this is your first time on the show, so we're talking FIBA basketball. I don't even need to introduce Jack. He's back. He's back. He's a regular.
Giovanni looking dapper as always.
Hey.
See the attire matched.
Maybe next time I'll be looking.
It's all good. It's all good. We're going to be talking the travesty that is USA basketball right now. Not even a medal. FIBA, a blitzkrieged as Germany wins it. It was terrible. I don't really know why they don't bring more of their all-stars to international competitions like this. You see Luka playing full passion, and Germany was playing with full passion too. Now, Giovanni, I'm going to start with you. All right. What do you think was USA's biggest flaw through this tournament?
Definitely defense. That's number one. Rebounding, number two. Mm-hmm. You can't have your starting center averaging 3 rebounds a game.
Yeah.
Throughout 8 games, Jaren Jackson Jr., I don't know if that depoy is a fraud depoy anymore. Honestly,
I think it was.
I think it was.
Honestly,
I think it was.
Don't do this.
I think it was.
I mean,
I've been saying that.
you had it, Heather. You don't have it.
It's looking like, as a Heat fan, it's looking like Bam Adebayo would have been better in that spot.
That's a dub. That's a W take. Thank you. Thank you. That's a W take. I don't think Jaren Jackson is that good. And
my gosh.
I could get blitzed for it. I don't care. But he is, when he plays another big man, like, okay, he played the Warriors great.
Yep.
He did really good against them in the playoffs. That's what everybody relives. When he plays another dominant big man, he's terrible. He's terrible.
I'm right
he
with
doesn't
you,
have that, I don't know, it's that
Terrible
edge.
is insane. He's
Explain.
Like, he is the defensive player of the year who averaged over 3 blocks per game.
I didn't see
and
it.
his
see
defensive
it.
rating
Yeah.
on the court last season was the best defensive rating in the league. He is an anchor for defense. I agree with you. He cannot rebound. The fact that they even defend Jaren Jackson right now is ridiculous. Is insane to me. But
You're
right.
defending Jaren Jackson more than Jaren Jackson defended during FIBA.
That's
all I'm saying.
That's because he couldn't rebound. He defended fine. But I do agree with the rebounding. Josh Hart was a team leading rebound. He's like 6'6". It's pretty insane.
Yeah, that is.
But this is like the USA's third team. To answer your question earlier, when you're talking about why do more guys not participate or whatever? It's really because the FIBA is more just like a qualifier. USA do send their like best guys in the Olympics when the Olympics come around next year.
Yeah.
So expect to see those guys. The only FIBA team that's actually going to make the Olympics is Anthony Edwards. He was fantastic this cup, and I am just so excited for the season this year.
I knew he was going to talk about it. He's a Timberwolves fan.
Yeah.
He's, I'll let you talk because he was great. He was
the best
great.
player by far.
I'll let you talk a little bit about Anthony Edwards because he was sensational.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real here. He was great, but USA losing to Germany. Now, Germany team led by Dennis Schroeder, who looked like Schroeder, maybe, who looked a flash of it when he was in his prime on the Atlanta Hawks. I actually think he was really good on the Hawks.
Prime Schroeder.
I think he was pretty good on the Hawks. He was a great
amazing.
point guard. Yeah. And then Franz Wagner, if you're a Magic fan, stand up right now because you should be happy. He looked sensational that whole tournament. Now, granted, it is the FIBA tournament. You know, you have your thoughts about that, but there's guys that are playing with that. I mean, if you watch the USA documentary, they say that international ball is way different than regular NBA ball, so take that with a grain of salt. But I think it's more physical international. So Franz held his own, and he did great. But going to their loss to Canada, that was no excuse. They looked horrible against Canada.
They did.
And Dylan Brooks locked up your boy.
Locked up.
How Dylan Brooks.
Anthony Edwards was by far the best player on USA, and he scored like 23 and 8. So I don't know what you're talking about locking up. I will say that the 39 points, Dylan Brooks could absolutely never do that again. Let me tell you. He could never do that again.
Shai kind of carried that Canada team, though,
Yeah,
I will say.
And you're just talking about Canada. Like, Canada was a good team.
No, they were.
Canada was a good team. They had Nikhil Alexander-Walker, Timberwolves. And then they had Shea. They had Sarjay Barrett.
Sarjay Barrett.
That is a stretch.
If you're a Knicks fan, you just threw up everywhere.
That is a stretch.
But
They had a ton of NBA guys.
Jovanni, you think USA should have lost to Canada, or you think that's just kind of a fluke almost?
Honestly, Dom, I'm real heavy on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'm a big fan of him. I think he will be top 10 in the league this year.
Yes.
But all the star power, I don't know if that's the correct word to use with this USA team, but I still think they definitely had enough to beat Team Canada.
They do on paper, but you have guys like Brandon Ingram who are like absolute no-shows every single game, and then they receive DNPs because they cannot play with the team. Like, when a team comes down to Anthony Edwards, Austin Reeves, you're kind of holding yourself offensively. Like, Tyrese Halliburton shot 2 for 8 that game. It wasn't... They didn't live to the full potential for sure.
I will say that Canada against Serbia game was crazy. That was a great game. That definitely, I thought Serbia was actually going to win it after beating Canada. They looked really good. But Germany wins the whole thing. And I don't think they had the toughest road. They had the most difficult path to win. And they showed up. They showed great. And Germany against Serbia, that was a tough game to play because Serbia was physically imposing every team in the tournament, and Germany did it. Franz, he played great. Now, Jovanni, do you think that the Germany run was just a Cinderella run, or do you really think Germany has the skills to be a recurring team as of late?
I honestly believe Germany can make noise in the next Olympics, but with Team USA bringing out the big guns next Olympics. They've made several reports.
Wants to play.
LeBron, Steph Curry, Anthony Davis. I think them going against Germany don't stand a chance. I'm not giving Germany a chance.
Well, Jack, what do you think, man?
Germany will be players. I understand the star power for USA is I think will be a lot heavier, but these countries, they do have a lot more time together just playing together, so they have a lot more chemistry, and they still have NBA level talent. Like, we talked about Schroeder. We talked about
the Wagner
Bros.
Yeah.
And then they have Isaac Bonga, who was an NBA player for a couple years now. That's an NBA talent. They have Daniel Tice, who's in the NBA as well. They have plenty of NBA players. It's like France, when France always gives USA a run for their money in the Olympics as well. Like, they don't have top-tier NBA guys, but they have a lot of, again, vibes guy. A lot of
vibes guy.
No, yeah. Well, countries do gun against the USA. They have a lot of national pride to them, and they play a lot more together than the USA plays together. So they have chances.
Yeah.
They do have a chance.
Now, do you see, kind of going into this with the Olympics, do you see Team USA, because like you said before, a lot of these teams don't send their full team to FIBA. Now, that could be the same thing said with Germany, Serbia, and Canada. even though I think they did send their full teams.
did.
Do you see this being a problem for the Olympic Games for USA? Because who is USA going to bring really to the Olympic Games? I know you got LeBron, Steph, and all them, but are they going to be able to gel like these teams that have been playing forever?
These guys, they can gel because I think ideally the lineup would be Steph, Devin Booker, LeBron, KD, Anthony Davis would be ideal. And that lineup could just work together as a whole. They don't need the ball to score. They can move around. They play some, besides Steph and Booker, I guess, and LeBron when he chooses not to. They don't exactly play the best defense. But the lineup does gel together, and I do think they all will play because I do think there is a bit of USA embarrassment after not getting a medal in FIBA. So I do like the chance of them playing. I do like the chance of them gelling, and I like the chances of them winning still.
Okay. Jovanni, what do you think?
I definitely believe you cannot be a superstar until you can play with other superstars. And I think the next upcoming Olympics, I think it will be a pride thing on part of Team
100%.
USA.
Yes.
The fact that they didn't even receive a medal at all.
Yes.
The last time I believe USA won was 2014 in a FIBA World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And for them to go through a drought like that, I definitely think this Olympics, like the lineup that you said, I really like the lineup.
Yeah.
That was a great lineup. I think that would be more than enough to win the next Olympics.
Jack's smiling ear to ear right now. One of his points got proven correct. He's all happy now. But this Olympic team is going to be a tough team to beat. Now, the only problem with that is the international teams are only getting better. I will say there's a lot of foreign talent coming to the NBA, and I think this was actually a good thing to show off that international talent that will be coming to the NBA and FIBA. But this Olympics, guys, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little worried. I know they have all the All-Stars, but international basketball is a completely different brand of basketball.
Well, just like USA, I would also be worried about France. France was favored to win FIBA, or behind USA, I should say. And they went in with their NBA guys, Gobert, Fournier. They went in there and they lost 2 in a row. They completely disappointed. So I do think that's going to be another team, just like USA, who comes in and they have a little pride to them because they lost bad games, just
I don't like
bad
Gobert.
games.
I don't like Gobert. I don't think Gobert's that good.
What a
I know
hater.
you're
That's just what a
Timberwolves.
hater. Yep, keep hating.
Hey, what has Gobert really done for you?
Only
That's
three different defensive players of the year. But
Who
I
are you?
guess it
Who are
doesn't
you?
count.
For the
Thank you.
Minnesota
Thank you.
Timberwolves,
JJ does
other
not
than
count.
rob you guys and take about, how much did he take?
I mean, our whole team was hurt last year. We'll be fine.
You say that every year.
No,
You
I
say
do
that
not.
every
No,
year.
I do not. Towns
Legit.
missed 50 games. And again, we're talking about FIBA and it turns to Timberwolves talk. I don't know where we're going with this. But the Timberwolves were hurt last year. So the season starts in 44 days, by the way. Be ready.
Hey, don't worry. They'll be hurt again this year.
Oh, okay. Okay. You see the way Towns played in FIBA? Fantastic.
He
Go
did
on.
great, but how did his team, how did the DR do?
Dominican winning any game is just impressive. Do you see the rest of their team? It's terrible. Go
I
on.
mean, to be fair, Towns was that whole team. I mean, when you're the whole team, it's pretty easy to like look good, you know.
Yeah.
But that has been it for this segment. Giovanni, I hope you like coming on. I hope to see you soon
appreciate
again.
it,
And Jack, and you know what?
I'll be on again.
Jack's a regular now. But we'll be right back with segment 3 as we're actually going to be doing the top 5 of this past week. So stick around. You're not going to want to miss that. Welcome back. I'm standing up this time. When you see the maroon jacket on, you know it's going to be a top 5 plays. And getting right into it, we're going to be talking about the top 5 plays of this past weekend. Jay Jettis, if you haven't seen this, Vikings, this is for you, Jack. This is for you. Jay Jettis, an interception. What do you know? Kirk Cousins, am I right? But hey, Jay Jettis might need to play corner for you guys because he's looking better than all of your corners put together. And he actually is tackling, and you can see he's a little angry. So Jay Jettis out of Minnesota, come to the Bears. We need you, and we need everybody. We might take your whole team. You know what? We'll do that. We'll just take your whole team, maybe your whole O-line too. But that was a great hit. I thought that's probably one of the best defensive plays of the weekend because there was zero defense really being played in this game. I mean, what can you say? Buccaneers looked like a top number one team in the league with Kirk Cousins going. Caleb Williams, I love this guy. I think he's insane. Easily the number one draft pick, and he's just ridiculous. Like, to make those throws is insane. He put that right in the bucket. Easy throw for Caleb Williams, and this USC team looks pretty scary. And whoever gets Caleb Williams, which is probably going to be the Cardinals because they got Josh Dobbs that's running the offense, and he's also running his hairline. He's not doing too well on the Cardinals, I will say. I was hoping he was going to do good, but he isn't. But going right into it, this is actually a pretty good play. This is a cool play. This is a kick interception that, now granted, is Ball State, and they're playing Georgia, which is like, I don't even know, a middle school team playing the Packers. I'll bring up the Packers because they live in my head from the Bears. But this is actually a cool play. I thought this was a really crazy play that Ball State looks this bad. And Georgia I think they might repeat again because they have a team full of just demigods, like 2K created players. This is their whole team. They had like a 6'8" tight end the other time. But right after this, like father, like son, if you're not on the Colorado hype train, wake up, you should be. Shadir Sanders, this is a little bit of a Heisman moment for him. This is against Nebraska. This isn't no slouch either. Colorado's beaten two top opponents back to back, and he hits the Deion dance for a little bit of a nod to his father. Colorado's looking amazing. Travis Hunter's looking absolutely insane, showing why he was the number one recruit and why every team in college wanted him. And look at that, them chopping it up a little bit. And the welcome to the NFL moment, Bijan Robinson. If you have him on your fantasy team, congrats, great pick. Everybody was saying it was a bad pick. A little bit of a shimmy, as the old ESPN would say, a little whammy type beat. But he looks great. And Falcons, props to you because you're putting him in great positions on this offense. I honestly thought you were going to not use him correctly. As watching that Netflix documentary of QB, you didn't use Marcus Mariota correctly. But Bijan looks great. Shows why you wasted a first-round draft pick on him. And let's see if the Falcons train can keep going because that division is absolutely terrible. But with that has been Hitting the Field main show. Little top five when the Maroons on, we're on. And hope to see you next week as we continue to push out good episodes. I've been your host, Dominic Moller. So take care, guys. Hey, Mac.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated chance, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back, okay? Always locked in, now I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check.